Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to Coffee Talk! Okay, so brace yourself. October 4th is upon us. This is the day when the zombies attack. But I'm not scared, because on October 4th, I'm going to be armed with the best zombie knife on the planet! Ah! All you need is one of these. The zombies can't eat your face if you have one of these. What's going on October 4th? It's the zombie apocalypse! Or not. Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock somewhere, and some of us do, then you might have heard of October 4th being another one of these big dates. We just survived September 23rd, and now there's another zombie apocalypse date. Well, what do they say is going to happen? Well, that's the day when FEMA and the FCC test the emergency broadcast system, the emergency system on your cell phones and on your television. And what's going to happen is a mysterious tone beep, is going to sound on your phone. What's going to happen then? Well, here's what they say. They say that some of you who took the jabby actually have some kind of graphene-based nanobots living inside of you. And when they hear the tone, that's when they're going to attack and turn you into a mindless, brain-eating zombie. Don't. But I got nothing to worry about because I didn't take the jabby jab. And I have my own jabby jab that knows how to deal with zombies. I got the zombie knife. Do you have a zombie knife? You better have a zombie knife. Or a hatchet. Or at least a pointy stick or something. Just a reminder that Coffee Talk is for things I find interesting but don't necessarily believe. So what are some of the theories about this emergency broadcast of this magic tone that's going to turn people into zombies? What are people saying about it? Well, first of all, you got to know, they did this 4 years ago. 4 years ago, everybody freaked out. People put their phones in Faraday cages and magic bags, and they hid them under their mattress, and they buried them in the backyard so that they wouldn't have the tone or whatever. This is something that's not new. Like, they did this before already, and nothing happened, right? But once again, people on the internet are convinced that this is the big one. And I don't know what it is about all the date setting and all of the panic that's been going on the last couple of months. But, you know, the world is in a precarious situation. Everybody's waiting for the other shoe to drop. And they're glomming on to anything that might facilitate or build on those fears, that sense of foreboding. I'll admit to feeling like the other shoe's about to drop on a lot of different topics. But let's talk specifically about the different theories about October 4th. First thing you need to know is your phone will go off. Apparently, even if your phone is turned off, it'll turn on by itself. Don't. It scares a lot of people that they have the ability to turn your phone on remotely, even if you don't want it on. And that just goes hand in hand with things that we already know, things that Snowden talked about, that your smart TV is listening, your phone is listening. And even though it's scaring people that they can turn your phone on, don't they realize it's not a coincidence that if you start talking about buying a dog, suddenly your YouTube feed is filled with dog products, collars, leashes, dog training, dog food. If you never had a dog before and you and your significant other start considering they're going to have a dog, that suddenly this stuff pops up. If you're talking about vacation, suddenly airline tickets to the places that you were talking about possibly going to vacation. The machines are listening. Now, it's an algorithm. It's not some person, with a headset listening to every word you say. Although I've said enough of the keywords here that some AI is listening, and he may turn these videos over to a human who will interpret them as a giant joke, because this is kind of a joke. All my coffee talks are a little bit silly. I just wanted to show off the giant knife a friend of mine left me when he passed away. All my musician friends that pass away leave me all their toys. I guess I'm likable that way, so I got a bunch of Useless junk. No, I got a bunch of nice stuff from, unfortunately, from the death of some of my friends, and that giant knife is one of them. I wouldn't I wouldn't buy a giant. That's a giant knife right there. Uh, it's only good for zombies. It's really all it's good for. But anyway, um, so what's the theory? Well, the main theory that many of you might have heard is that if you took the jabby jab, then you have this secret dormant nanobot technology inside of you that will be magically MK Ultra style awakened from the tone, from the pitch of the tone will be the marching orders for all of the nanobots to take over your body. And what's the purpose? Well, some people say it's going to make you a mindless follower of the New World Order, and you'll lose all of your natural desires for freedom, and you'll just sign over your property to the New World Order and start eating bugs. That's kind of what I'm hearing about October 4th. But there's some more less known and interesting theories that I thought I would share with you on this Saturday morning coffee talk. Or should I say coffee talk? So I find one of the more interesting ones is that October 4th is like a drill. This is another theory, that it is obviously a drill, but people cite certain bad events, catastrophic events from the past, and they always seem to be preceded by one of these drills. If there's some kind of mass shooting, then it's usually preceded by an active shooter drill at that facility just days or weeks before. And this also could fall under predictive programming, right? They tell you ahead of time what it is they're going to do through having these drills. So there is a person in my YouTube circle, not a viewer, but somebody I view, called the Canadian Prepper. Now, I used to watch him because he made one of the best rollout, bag kits for survival, the survival roll, I think he called it, and that's what eventually, originally got me watching him. But as soon as this conflict in Ukraine kicked off, he kind of became the end of the world, fearmonger, and he's been talking about how we're in for a nuclear war. So that has been on the forefront of the political and discussions concerning the war going on over there. It's just a matter of time till somebody starts flinging these tactical nukes on the battlefield. And Canadian Prepper did offer up some very interesting video evidence, and he claims that nukes are already being used on the battlefield in Ukraine, and they're covering it up. Don't. He offers as proof pictures of what looks like mushroom clouds erupting during this conflict. But being a guy who's been around the block before and devoured my fair share of news, I can tell you that it doesn't take a nuclear explosion to create a mushroom cloud, just any kind of big explosion. So if you recall seeing the Daisy Cutter bomb being used over in the Middle Eastern conflicts, that it looks like the big one, but it's just a regular bomb. It's the mother of all bombs. It's Moab. It's the big one, but it's just a regular device, right? So I think a lot of these mushroom clouds that are being shown on the internet are simply regular explosions from dropped bombs, improvised explosives, anything like that that has a major explosion can cause what looks like a small mushroom cloud. So I don't know that this test is because we know that we're going to start flinging nukes back and forth, and we want to be sure everybody's ready. We want to be sure everyone is prepared. What are you going to do if the drill someday isn't a drill? Do you have preps in order? Do you have a zombie knife like this one? If not, you better get one, because you never know when brain-eating zombies are after you. Now, I will say this. It's hard to tell the difference between a brain-eating zombie and a man who ain't ate in 17 days and counting. One of my guilty pleasures is to watch these survival shows on television, and one of my favorite ones is based out of the UK, starring Bear Grylls, and it's called The Island. It's probably the harshest of all of the survival television programs, and I'm a bit addicted to it. And the the thing that you notice right away, because they don't give them any food. They give them 24 hours worth of water and some knives in season 1. In the other seasons, they added some fishing gear, some hooks and things like that. But essentially, they drop them with nearly nothing, and they have to make fire, purify water. They have to hunt and fish, and starvation. It's the starvation show, because even the ones that are the best at it lose massive amounts of weight and have to deal with long-term starvation. They keep them there anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks, depending on what season you're watching. The 6-week survival challenge saw most of them starving, and there is a stark resemblance to someone who is starving to death and a zombie, because they start to get that zombified look in their eye. They start to see everything as food. They get very aggressive, and even though they're weak, when they think food is on the horizon, they can get superhuman strength and pull it out from somewhere. And so the idea that a stumbling zombie is dead set on eating your brains is not far from the reality of starvation on a mass scale. There will be some zombies if they're all starving. So if the graphene isn't going to turn us into zombies, then definitely a starvation situation could. What's another theory about October 4? Well, apparently there's some Catholic mystics. Catholics are, a lot of evangelicals look at Catholics as kind of a dead religion. There's not a lot of mysticism in it, but there's a portion of Catholicism that's very much about the supernatural. This would be the exorcism, devil fighting bunch. And apparently there are 2 mystics. One just has a real track record of making good predictions. The other one has the stigmata. Stigmata, which I could do a coffee talk on, is the blood that comes out from your hands and from your side and your feet. You display the wounds of Christ. And so this stigmata person and this other one are making predictions about a solar flare taking out all the power. Don't. Okay, so they're saying we're going to get hit with a solar flare. What's a solar flare? It's a CME corona mass ejection, right? And essentially it's a flare, a blow up, an explosion on the sun that can wipe out all of humanity. A mild one would just take out all our electronics. A powerful one would kill us all. You can't fight a CME with a zombie knife. You're just going to get burned up. Some even claim that might be what killed off all the dinosaurs. Don't. So we got Catholic mystics saying that that's what's going to happen. We got the Canadian prepper who's saying it's probably a rehearsal for the coming nuclear holocaust. And then what's another theory? Well, apparently on the Catholic tip here, the Pope on October 4th is going to come out with a new edict. He's going to come out with a big announcement. And a lot of people are on the edge of their seat about what the Pope is going to say. Some think he's going to release the final prediction of Fatima, the hidden Fatima prophecy, and he's going to tell us what's up with that. Is it zombies? I'm afraid it's zombies. I got my zombie knife, so I'm not scared. Yeah, I am. What if there's more than one? Zombies is the problem, not a zombie. I can deal with a zombie. It's a whole bunch of zombies that's a little bit scary. I don't know. He's going to come out with some major announcement, and it's got the Seventh-day Adventist people all been out of shape, because they've been predicting that their end times is going to start happening, and their tribulation period will start when the Pope announces it's illegal to worship on Saturday. It's called the Sunday Laws, and it's a part of Seventh-day Adventist eschatological discussions that there will be a law passed worldwide that you have to go to church on Sunday, and if you go to church on Saturday, you'll be hunted down and put in concentration camps and eventually beheaded. They're going to behead all the Seventh-day Adventists because they won't go to church on Sunday. Some of this stuff is downright silly, and I just can't believe people believe it. But hey, it gives us something to talk about over our coffee on Saturday morning. So what's another element of October 4th? Well, I hear a lot about this thing called gematria. Gematria, I won't get into too many details, but it's another divination or you know, predictive tool, right? And so they take this number and they convert it to the Jewish date and apply gematria to it. I actually do a video. I don't want to get too deep into it. Leave your gematria comments down there. But apparently there's a lot of key words like nuclear explosion and biotechnology is another word that comes up when you do this number. And now they have a backup date. If the 4th of October, October 4th, Bully, you're shaking my camera, quit. He's hanging up my camera there, scratching his ear. But yeah, if you're if the October 4 for some reason doesn't happen, because if they say bad weather or some other thing on October 4, then October 11th is the date that they will choose. And so when you look at that, that's 10/11. And I'm mainly concerned about the number 6 because, or the number 7, because you know why 6 was afraid of 7. Because 7, 8, 9. Don't. 7's a zombie number. 7, 8, 9, that's your dad joke for the day. So here's another element, though, that's kind of in the middle of all of this, is that on October 2nd, it appears our government is going to shut down. Now, the folks in Washington did do a little bit of their job, at least, and they funded the State Department. They guaranteed funding for the State Department, the military, Pentagon, and FEMA and some other stuff. So don't worry, we'll still be able to engage in the war in Ukraine. It won't stop the war efforts in Ukraine. You may not get your Social Security check, but trust me, G.I. Joe over there on the Polish border or wherever they're amassing their troops to eventually invade Russia, they'll all get paid. So that's good to know. So could this all be a really big deal? Government shuts down on October 2nd. They can't send out the alert on October 4th. So the Russians go, this is our moment. The government shut down. The America's in disarray, and they can't even warn their people until the 11th. So that gives us a whole week to do something to America. Don't. You know, back to reality here. I don't know why everybody has this date setting thing going on. I'm waiting for the next date. We had September 23rd. Now we're at October 4th. They're moving it maybe to October 11th. What's going to be their big November deal? Now, the November I'm worried about isn't this one. It's next November when we have the election or not. Don't. You know, they're going after Mr. T-Man pretty bad. They're trying to strip him of all of his businesses. You know, I've never seen a complete and total assault on a human being for them trying to be president before. It's like they would rather elect the devil himself than to let Donald Trump back in the White House. And they're doing everything to stop him. So it's not this November I'm so much worried about. It's what's going to happen next November. So did I cover it all? We got zombies from the graphene in the jab people. Going to turn them into zombies. I wonder if they're going to be brain-eating zombies. I got my zombie blade. I am not afraid when I got my zombie blade. And then we got the Pope who's going to outlaw the Seventh-day Adventists, and apparently all the Jews, because they go to church on Saturday. And then also the Fatima prophecies might be released. Maybe that's about zombies or World War III, or I don't know. It could be they're going to bring back New Coke potentially, or Crystal Pepsi. I don't know. Something catastrophic is involved in that secret Fatima prophecy that they won't release. I can do a video on Fatima. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. But it's a 100-plus-year-old prophecy where 3 little kids claim to have seen the Virgin Mary. And another thing about the 2 mystics, the 2 Catholic mystics that are calling for the solar flare or the CME, they claim that it was Mary who appeared to them in a vision. So I don't know if okay, just so you know, if Mary appears to me in a vision, I'm probably not going to listen to her. But if Jesus appears to me in a vision, you're going to get a video out of that one. So, are you scared of what's going to happen? You know, people are talking about putting their phones in Faraday cages on October 4th. They're talking about turning them off. And it's what I understand. If you do all that, the minute you take it out, it's still going to turn on. Now, 4 years ago, the main fear was they were going to take your picture, because you got to hit a button that says okay, that you got the message, and reply that this message. At least 4 years ago, you had to select the okay button before the alert would go off of your phone. It would just take your phone over until you click that button. And people thought it was so that when you click that button, they'd take your picture with your camera phone, and they could have a facial recognition of every person who has a cell phone on the planet. So when I got that alert 4 years ago, I just made sure my phone was pointed towards the wall and went okay, and then set it face down, because I didn't want them getting my picture, because they might put it on the internet or something, and then everybody like know who I am. Wait, I'm already on the internet. That doesn't make any sense. My face is everywhere. But some people are putting their phones in Faraday cages, but I have a plan. I have a very scary looking gorilla mask, one of them rubber gorilla masks. Once again, it's something I inherited from my musician friends. Musicians are weirdos. You guys know that. They're weirdos. I inherited some weird stuff, including this monkey mask. So I'm thinking on October 4th, I'm going to put that monkey mask on, and I'm going to look right in the camera when I hit that button, right? So they get that facial recognition of an ape. And they're going to be like, hey, how come this one guy is a monkey? Right? And they're going to be like, Sage Wanderer is really a monkey. That's what I don't know. I think the day will just be another day. I think it's just a test. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Is there something to this gematria thing? Is there going to be a nuclear explosion? Is there going to be a bio-engineered incident from the jabby folks? Are we going to get a solar flare? I'm hearing predictions, too, of a flood in New York. I think that's some of the gematria information, the numerology information that's coming out on the date 10-4, or 10-4, good buddy. Don't. We're going to be, all the CBs are going to go down. 10-4, good buddy. Ooh. I don't know. I'm not much into numerology. You can play with numbers. I could get all of these numbers that were talked about and add and subtract until I end up with 23. 23 is the scary number, not 10-4, good buddy, or 10-11. But I'm with 6. I'm afraid of 7, because 7, 8, 9. I hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm running out of coffee because I guzzled it today. I had a lot of fun with this. If you like this video, you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. Make a donation to the PayPal or Cash App link in the description. And say a prayer for me, because full disclosure, I'm a Christian minister, and there's a lot of stuff to worry about in this world. There's a lot of stuff to pray about. There's a lot of stuff to be on your knees before the Lord about. But I don't think this October 4th surprise is going to be one of the things that's going to be worthy of worrying about. But we had a little fun with it. Tell me what you think. Are we in for it? Or is it just going to be another day like September 23rd, just another day? I don't know. We'll see you next time on Coffee Talk!